Alright, this is a draggable list created with HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Let me show you what it does. So simply, this is an unordered list. Inside you have a list item, and if you wish to drag and change the position, you can do it. And if you want to reorder it, I want the Superman to be at the top, and then we have a Batman, then we have Martian Manhunter, then Flash, Green Lantern, and finally Wolverine. Tutorial and source code available on my YouTube channel. Alright, if you wish to learn more such tutorial, you have to get into my channel, and I have a collection of JavaScript playlist. So here, get into the playlist where you will find JavaScript related projects. So I have games in JavaScript, and let me search for JavaScript here. Over here you will find the vanilla JavaScript project tutorial. I have like 90 plus tutorials in a single playlist. If you are an intermediate level developer, you can directly jump to this video and start along. But if you are a very beginner, I would recommend you to start from episode 1. So you can see I have started from episode 1 and now I have reached till here 95. If you have no idea of what Java is, I would recommend you to start from episode number 1. So if you are okay with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and you don't need quite introduction of each function and each value or each variable, you can directly jump and start along with this current project which you have clicked on. Now for each videos I have left this code in the description. You just need to click it and start coding with me. So in case if you got stuck somewhere, you can just copy paste the code which I have linked in the description so that you don't get stuck anywhere. So that's enough for the intro. Let's just get started with the project. Alright, to start we just need 3 files. So I'm saving these files in my folder called this one, and I'm going to name it as index.html. So we need one HTML file, one CSS file, one JS file. So this is HTML and style.css, and then we have script.js. So for the HTML we have to link these created files. So it's better to have a font awesome icon, font awesome CDN, so that we can use that icon. So I'm getting this CDN from the W3 school. It's better to have the CDN at the top so that our custom CSS comes right after it, so that we can override if it's required. In this video we don't have to do anything. So this is for the drag icon. I don't know, I could not find a relevant icon, but we'll work out with this. Now if you press Ctrl O and click on desktop, we have this index. Let's create the HTML here. We have an unordered list. I'm not going to add a class because we are just going to have one unordered list, so not to waste time. I don't want to confuse you. Details, and inside details we'll be having an image, and we can have a span and name, and over here we will be having an icon, so this one. So if you want, you can paste it inside you, but let's leave as it is. So we have to paste this several times. So before that, let me get those images. Now I have downloaded all the images. Let's just use one by one. So it's in the images folder. So I'm going to copy this some 6 times. So I have 6 images. So I'll pause it and replace all the images. So I've replaced all the images and the names. Let's just see how does it looks. So we are going to style this. So for all element, let's just remove the margin and padding, and let there be box sizing border box. And for the body, let's just set the width and height first. Width 100, vertical viewpoint height 100% of viewport height. It's not vertical, it's a viewport height, and viewport width and viewport height. And let's just have a background color, something like dark red. And then for the unordered list, and then we have list item, then we have details, then we have inside images, and then we have a span tag, and then we have directly I tag. So first of all, let's just give the width as 500 pixel, and background color white so that it stands out. So for the width of the images, let's just make this a square. So 50 pixel width and 50 pixel height, and object fit contain. Cool. And I want this unordered list to be at the center, so I'll pick the body. So display flex, align item center, justify content center. Now it will be at the center of the screen. So you see there is these dots. These dots are the default behavior of list item. So let's just remove that. List style none. Now that's gone. So what I need is, we have a list item. Inside list item we have the direct child called details and the I. I want these to be side by side, so in that case I'll use display flex. Now you'll see both of them will be in the side by side. I want the list item to take the whole space, so width 100%. Now I want this second child of the list item to be at the extreme end. In that case I'll use justify content space between. Cool. Now let's just add padding to the list item, or it's better to add padding over here. top and bottom 10 pixel, left and right 20 pixel, or 20 would work. Now you see inside details we have image and span. Again we can work on display flex so that it acts as a side by side. Now I want it to apply, available at the center of the image. So in that case what I can do is I can make the align items center. Now you'll see it's at the center of the image. Now I want the font to be changed, so in that case we'll have Google font pop-ins. So let me just click one. You'll see a button which says skip font. Just click on it and click on embed code. So we'll use import, just copy this and paste it at the top of the style sheet, and we can use these font weight. So for all element, not for all element, whatever is there inside unordered list, we can have a font family of pop-ins. It should be in the, now you'll see there's a change in font, and you can have the font weight for the span over here, font weight of let's say 600. Cool, that works. Now I want the space in the list item, so margin top bottom 10 pixel, left right 0. Now let's just have a space for the span, so we can have margin left of 15 pixel. Cool. Now I feel this is what we can do is we can give a border to the list item. So border 1 pixel solid black. If 1 pixel is too much, we'll remove it. So you see, let's just try adding padding 10 pixel on all sides, top bottom left right 0, or top bottom 5 pixel left right 5 pixel. Let's see how this looks. Not bad. Now you see this I should be at the center. In that case you need to find the direct parent of I. So here in this case it's, I believe, list item. We have display flex, we haven't used align items center. Now if you make it, it will vertically align center. So we have a padding, so top bottom left right. This is top, this is center, and this is bottom, and I want on the right to be like 15 pixel. So this is bottom and this is left. Let's say left be 5 pixel. Cool. Now that looks awesome. If you want to change the color is too dark, we can make this, we can add opacity to it, and if you want you can have a box shadow 0.5, 1 pixel x-axis, 1 pixel y-axis, 1 pixel blur, and the color black. We can reduce. Now if you feel the padding is too much for the unordered list, you can anytime reduce it, like top bottom 10 pixel, left dot 10 pixel, and this is opacity 2. We'll make this 2 and we'll make this 1. And let for the list item, let the cursor be pointer, and everything seems fine. And if you want, you can make user select as none. So that means even if I try to select something, it will not allow you to select. You can say I'm dragging over it, it's not allowing me to select, but it will be clickable. Cool. Now what we can do is, I think the back, this could be even darker. Now let's add a script. Now let's just get all the list item document dot query selector all, and we'll get list item, and we'll store it into a variable called items. Now we'll add a event listener. First we'll add event listener to all the list items, so dot for each. So with for each, what we can do is we can add an event listener to individual. So let's say 1 by 1. So we'll add event listener 1 by 1 to the item. So now this is going to be the first list item. So in that case I'll add event listener, and we can add dragstart, and this is the relevant function, and in this function we'll add a class. So 1 by 1 dot class list dot add. So over here we'll add a class called dragging. So now let's see, by opening the console, let me show you the individual. If I try to drag, you'll see the first list item will have a class called dragging. Downward would not be solved. Let's see that we have any issues. Script is there. Yes, it's a camel case. Now let's try. I think it will be because the user select is stopping us to add the class. we just missed one important thing, which is we have to externally, the other mistake is it's just a single, it's not a camel case, and for each list item we have to externally specify draggable true. So we are saying that this element or this HTML is expected to be draggable. Refresh it. Now in the list item, if I try to drag, you see the class should be added, but it's not. Let's see the error. I have to hard refresh it. Now in the list item, you'll see if I try to drag the first one, you'll see the dragging is there. So the same way, if I try to drag again, you'll see the dragging. So whenever I drag, I want the style to be updated. So the list item with class dragging, we can use the where clause. Here we are going to target details class, or what we can do is let that be details, and the I inside should have opacity of 0. So now if I try to drag something, you see the opacity, it got the opacity as 0. But what should happen is there should be a set timeout. This should be applicable, but we'll use a set timeout function and then apply the class. So now you see it's working. So when I drag end, I want to remove the added class. So let's just copy this, and for all the list item again, if the drag end is there, then we need to remove the added drag class. So if I drag, the opacity is gone. If I leave the class, the drag, let's just show you again. If I just look at the first list item, if I start dragging, you see the class is added. If I leave it, you will see the class is removed. Class is added, class is removed once I leave. Cool. Let's work on reordering. So to apply reordering on the list item, we have to add a event listener on the unordered list. Unordered list. Let's just directly use the same unordered list dot add event listener, and over here we'll have drag over and then a function. So we can directly give the function name. Here in this case, let's just call it reorder list item. So now, this reorder list item. Now let's just get all the list item except the selected one. So how we can separate, or how we can differentiate the list item which we have selected. So we have added the class called dragging. So let's just do that. So let's call it siblings of unordered list. So let's just get all the list item with class dragging. So we need to use the not operator. Get all the list item except dragging. Now we will get a node list. So let me just show you. Console.log. If I try to drag over, we get all the list item in the form of node list. It's not a function. Add event listener. Oh, that's a simple issue, which is we just have only one UL, so we are returning a node list. That's why it's giving an error. So if I try to drag, you'll get a node list. So now we are going to convert it into an array. In that case, 1 2 3. Now this is an array. Now we'll use this. We'll have a function called find. What we do is we'll have a logic, and that logic, if it is true, then from this array we'll just consider in this array there are 5 values. So we are going to write a condition. So if the condition is true, only one element is going to be returned with the help of find function of an array. Let's just do that. We'll be getting the siblings. So with this siblings, we are going to find we are going to write the condition over here. So with this, we are going to pass the event. So with this event, we can return the mouse value of x-axis. So we'll be passing one by one event over here, and we'll be getting next sibling. I'll explain you. So with this event on drag over, we'll be getting the mouse value. So the mouse value, which will be inside the unordered list. So the x value I'll be getting the x value. If I just look at the mouse cursor, we will get the x value. So this will give you the x value. And if I select this first, let's consider the second one. If I select this second one, you see, if I select the second one, what will happen is the offset top of this, we will get it with this offset top. We'll get the first one, and we are doing some calculation to find the next one, immediate next one. If I select the Martian Manhunter, we have written the logic that will return the next div. So if I select the Martian Manhunter, we have returned the logic. By this logic, we will get the next element. So the logic is just look for the mouse position on the y-axis. And if I select the Martian Manhunter, and here what will happen is, we know the next one is Green Lantern. So the Green Lantern's midpoint, the Green Lantern, this is the div of Green Lantern, this is the list item of Green Lantern, we'll get the midpoint using this code. Offset height divided by 2. So this will get the actual height divided by 2. So this will be the midpoint. If I try to drag below the midpoint, what will happen? We will get the next element, which is Green Lantern. So that is what the next element will do. Let's try to console.log and check. If I try to select Batman and try to drag over it, what you should get? The next element is Martian Manhunter. So if I select it, you'll see in the Martian Manhunter you got it. So let me refresh again, and if I try to select Martian Manhunter and place it below Flash, what will I do? Select the Martian Manhunter and place it below. So now what will get? Let me select this, you'll get the Wolverine. I hope I have made it clear. We have seen the, if I try to select Batman and try to place below Green Lantern, what will happen? The midpoint and the below one is the Flash. So here, try to drag it below Green Lantern and leave it. So you will get the next element, which is Flash. So now we are going to append it with insert before. Now we need to get the dragged div. So this is not dragging, and let's use the drag div dot query selector, and since it's only one, this will be dragged div. So get the URL tag, use the insert before, and add the dragged div just before the next sibling. Let's see the output. Batman, yep, that works, and Superman to the Flash, and Flash to the top. So I believe I have made it clear. Source code is available on my description box. Work on it.